Okay, here we go with 2A. Let's see what we got here with 2A. Why don't we do that? All right. Number one, they want to know how much cash Harry will receive in the final settlement. What are we talking about? Liquidation here. Liabilities have been paid. Partners' capital accounts are given, and they're going to share a ratio of profits and losses. So, what if building sold 50? How much will he receive? So we have 5 in cash. Let's start with that. We've got 5 in cash. Sell for 50. We'll have 55 in cash. But before we go there, we have to figure out what his capital account's going to be in order to know what he's supposed to get. So Harry started out with 40. How do I know that? Well, it says it. He's got 40. He's going to share. There's a $30,000 loss on the sale of the building. Why? Because it was 80 on the books. If you're not sure, just read it. It was 80 on the books. Sold it for 50. It's a $30,000 loss. His percentage is 40% of the loss, so that is 12,000. So his capital account goes from 40 down to 28. He'll be entitled to that amount of the cash, and that's the answer. Answer E. He gets $28,000, his capital account. Okay, so I think we're ready to roll to the next question. If I don't fall asleep first. Okay, yes. Here we go. We want to know in this case, there's going to be a liquidation. Which partners where would they have to contribute to cover a deficit? Remember, that's the deficit capital account restoration rule, which is the default rule. So we want to see how much is the loss going to be and allocate it to see where we have capital accounts that go negative. We only got 3 guys to deal with, so let's see what happens. The assets are sold for $134. That means a $300,000 loss. We've got $12,000 in liquidation expenses, the problem tells us, so we've got a total of $312 to allocate. And their ratio is given at 3, 2, and 5. If you take 30% of that 312.5, let's see, 312.0, 30% of that is 93,600. That's the loss allocated to Abrams, and he's going to wind up with a deficit account because he doesn't have that much in there. Bartel will get, of the 312 loss, 20%, which is 62,400, and he can absorb that because he's still got 90 in his capital account. Creighton will get half of the 312, otherwise known as an amount of 156, and that will bust his capital account because he's only got 130 in there. So the 2 that can go negative would be Abrams and Creighton, and that is that. So we can move to the next one. But before we do that, let's get some erasers in here so I can see what we're doing. Alright, 3A. Which of the following statements is true? Yeah, okay. Regarding distribution of safe payments. So, distribution of safe payments assumes that any capital deficit balances will prove to be a total loss to the partnership. Okay. Let's read that again. Distribution of safe payments assumes that any capital deficit balances will prove to be a total loss to the partnership. That sort of sounds true, meaning the distribution of safe payments assumes that capital deficit balances will prove to be a total loss to the partnership. All right, I think I know what that means. Let's go further. The distribution of safe payments may only be made after all liabilities have been paid. Well, that's true, isn't it? I think. Safe payments, let's take a look at C. Safe payments are equal to the recorded capital balances of partners who... Safe payments are equal to the recorded capital balance of partners with positive capital balances. That seems true. Based on what I know about safe payments, let's see. In computing safe payments, partners with positive capital balances are assumed to absorb an equal share of any deficit balances. No, that's not true. It goes according to their profit and loss ratio. E, there are no safe payments until the liquidation is complete, and that's not true. We can make safe payments. So D and E are out. Let's go back over A, B, and C. to see what I'm doing wrong. Okay. Okay, let's go back. Let's do A again. A. The distribution of safe payments assumes that any capital deficit balances will prove to be a total loss to the partnership. That's true. That's what we do. We allocate deficit balances to the other partners, assuming that the person's not going to bring their capital account back up to where it's supposed to be. So that's true when we do the safe payments. Not that I'm going to ask you questions on this because I hate this question. B, the distribution of safe payments may only be made after all liabilities have been paid. Well, that's not true. That's not how we do it. We actually do make safe payments before the liabilities have been paid. That's the whole idea of safe payments. So now I know B is not correct. Safe payments are equal. We're looking at C. Safe payments are equal to the recorded capital balances of partners with positive capital accounts. No, we zero everybody out first, and then we go back and see who was the last man standing. So C is out, and A becomes the correct answer. But that was not easy to get to because I don't like that question. All right, let's go further to number 4, which is the last one. Yay. Okay, let's see what we got here. What do we need to do? How much of this money should Justice receive? All right, so let's see what we got. Justice is this guy there. A local partnership was in the process of liquidating and reported the following capital accounts. Bum, bum, bum. Douglas indicated that the $14,000 deficit would be covered by a forthcoming contribution. Okay. However, the 2 remaining partners asked to receive the $31,000 that was then in the cash account. How much was in the cash account? Well, let's see. How much should it have been? 23, and altogether should be 31,000. 23, 22 minus 14, 31,000. So that's how much cash they've got. So these 2 guys, Justice and Zobart, can't wait. They want to get some of their cash now. So how much can we give out? In other words, what's the safe payment? What's the safe payment? Knowing that Douglas said that he would put the 14,000 back in doesn't mean we believe him. So I believe what we do is we assume the 14,000 will be lost in order to do safe payments. So let's assume it'll be lost. That 14 has to be split amongst Justice and Zobart as a loss, and they'll share in their relative ratios of capital accounts, I guess. So if you do that, take the 14,000 and divide it based on the remaining ratio, which would be 40 over 75. So 40 over 75 of this amount, the loss, would yield, let's see, do the math, 40 over 75 times $14,000 loss is 7466.67, and so that loss will get distributed to the capital accounts, which will bring Mr. Justice's capital account from 23 down to 746667. You have to subtract it. So that'll give him a capital account of, let's see, 15,533, and based on the safe payment methodology, we can distribute that to him out of the 31,000 safely, and because that now assumes that the 14 won't come in, and takes care of that, and that would be answer A, and that is the answer, and we're done. Okay, I'm out of here.